Alrighty, what is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. Hope everybody had a lovely day. And with that being said, let's dive into some TA. All right, guys, so we got some pretty exciting stuff going on here. We're looking for a 2 to 4% bounce on the NASDAQ from Friday's low, guys. We did get about 1.5% of that today. I am just going to skip a little bit ahead here and say I do think we are going to be continuing a little bit higher from these current prices. I'm going to say chips are leading right now. Chips are looking mighty fine. And yeah, we got Nvidia earnings on Wednesday after the bell. So I'm thinking if Nvidia is going to continue, pounding the table into that event, continue rising into that event, I'm thinking the market is probably going to follow suit or consolidate. And then we're going to have to wait to see what happens after that. All right. So let's go over QQQ. Guys, we are right here still on the lower trend line of this rising wedge here. You did end up getting the bounce on Friday, into today off of a 0.618 fib here. That is a good look. What I will point out is you're still right underneath that 21 EMA here on the daily time frame. I'm thinking we probably are going to be coming up here and testing the daily 9. And then, we will see if you want to roll back over or not. We will see. But I'm going to skip ahead here over to Mr. VIX, and I'm going to point out, guys, you did not hold the daily 9 today. I'm going to point out here, typically when you get above it, you're going to come back and test it. Well, you got above it, you rejected the 21 there, and you did not hold the 9. All right, so you got above it, you did not hold it. You got above it, you did hold it. Okay, you got above it, you held it. You got above it here, you held it. You did not hold it right here. All right, so I just want to, be pretty clear there. VIX does look like it's probably gonna, come back down here towards the bottom over here, or at least, we're talking maybe 1490 over there, which means, we can anticipate a further bounce if that is going to be the case on the indices. Okay, so I just want to get VIX out of the way there. Coming back over to QQ, guys, on the downside, what are you paying attention to? All right, you got the 0.618 fib at 496.30. All right, 496.25, 496.30, right around there. And then underneath there, guys, we're really just going to be watching this uptrend here. If that cannot hold, bad things can happen. All right, when you break your uptrends, bad things can happen. I'm not saying bad things will happen, but I'm saying you're at a pivotal spot here. And if you break it, boom, 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 we got some bad stuff probably right around the corner. All right, if you can't hold the 0.618 fib, you're immediately going to be watching that 492.88 gap. We're going to be watching for a gap fill there. But we're going to focus on the upside for now. So resistance, guys, 501.01, 503.52, and then 506.41. That is going to be, this gap that was kind of, left open there. And now you're going to have the actual gap there sitting right above it, 507.77. All right. So, we got two little spots here. We'll make this a red level just because the actual gap fill will be up here now. All right, so that's what we're watching on QQQ. Coming over to SPY, guys. All right, you got buyers defending the zone. We're talking about, hey, I don't know when that 2 to 4% bounce in NASDAQ is going to come. Either going to, probably get a dead cat bounce to start the week, or we go a little lower, and we're still going to be looking for that 2 to 4% bounce from Friday's low. You did end up getting an immediate bounce. And, things like this guy over here are making me think, guys, we're probably not going much lower. I'm serious on this one, all right? Every time for the last 1.5 years here, okay, let's just do a little tool here, okay? Yep, 1.5 years here. You have 1.3 years, whatever you want to call it, over a year. You have been bouncing every time the daily RSI has hit this exact spot, 35.50, okay? Now, if you come down to that spot, expect buyers start stepping in. I was hoping that would be the case. You want to start popping up a little bit early today, okay? So you did close out with the Dragonfly Doji over here with the inside bar. I do have to assume we probably saw the short-term low over here in Avgo, and now I'm going to be looking for a test up here. All right, we'll just adjust that level, okay? 172.60. I am thinking that is going to be tested over the coming trading sessions. This thing will rise with Nvidia, all right? And then you got Nvidia bouncing where we were watching, okay, guys? So, immediately when we broke this downtrend, we're going to be watching 137.46 to see if that holds. That's going to be this golden pocket right here. And then if that does not hold, we're going to watch for things to slowly start declining down here, or you get one big fat boom off of earnings. All right. And then, people are going to think this is going to be sold. All right. You get this move down, guys. You come right over here, smack that 120. Guess what? Expect buyers to come in, expect some nice green bars, expect some action like this. You get a big fat gap down, and then, 10% down, boom. Close out the day only down 1%. Okay. You're still down 6%. It was actually like this. You closed out like over there. Okay. So if we do get a big earnings gap and it happens to come right here to 120, that's what we're going to be paying attention over on Nvidia. But the fact that you are getting buyers defending right here, I know you're, rejecting the daily 21 right there. I can see it just like you could see it. All right. We just have to wait to see what comes next. But I have to assume Nvidia is either going to consolidate here into earnings or you're going to start rising into earnings. I don't know which comes, but we were looking for buyers down here. You had them stepping up originally. Okay. That's what you're looking for over on the video. But coming back over to SPY, guys, you are defending that breakout zone in between 586.12 and 583.32. You're holding the daily 21 EMA right there. That is what, you're going to find buyers a lot of the times on these uptrends. You got the daily 9, okay, reversion to the mean, and then you can, really come back and find that support off of the 21. If you get underneath it, bad things can happen. You're not underneath it yet. Okay. I am personally looking for 590.20 to be tested as gap resistance, and then potentially this 592.65 gap, and we'll have a gap fill on our hands. That's what I'm going to be paying attention to over here on SPY. But guys, I'm just going to say, I was calling for the 2 to 4% bounce on NASDAQ. Now I'm going to say, guys, we already got, 1.5% of that today. Okay. From Friday's low. This is all we were looking for. All right. We got 1.56% of that. Guess what? All right. If you want to come test this daily 9 here, if you want to come test 794, which I'll show you on the hourly time frame where that level is. Okay. If you want to test there, that is where you are going to fulfill that 2% bounce that we are looking for in that weekly update. All right. I'm not saying it's coming right away, but, honestly, things aren't looking too bad over here on NASDAQ. Things are not looking bad on ES over here. All right. You're just kind of consolidating in a bullish manner above, where you broke out from over here. I'm liking how things are looking. You went golden pocket here, 2 golden pocket. What do you have on NASDAQ? You did the same thing, I believe. Okay. And, we were finding those over here. Okay. Right here in the golden pocket. And then what do you have beforehand? You also have another golden pocket. All right. So, things are not looking too bad here. Like the price is moving as expected here. And, things aren't going to go straight up, but you already did have a decent day here. So I'm just going to say, don't look for too much before those Nvidia earnings, okay? I'm not saying you don't just continue this rebound here. I'm not saying that at all. You very well could. Do you see how SPY looks? All right. You see how this is where the structure, we'll just take off all the clutter here. You see this was the most recent structure. You're finding buyers right off of that. You also, are right here on the 21 daily EMA. That's not bad at all. Okay, so on the upside, 590.20, 592.65, 594.37. Downside, 586.12, 583.32. And then if you cannot hold that, we're watching 580 for the 0.618 fib, and then that 576.74 gap fill down there. We'll be watching for that. IWM, guys, I'm still really hoping this thing at least comes down to 226.64. Between 223 and 227 is your buy zone over here on IWM. I don't need to say much about this chart. I think it's pretty obvious. You don't have to know much about charts. Just know that I mark this up to the best of my ability. We have everything going on here. All right. You had a big impulsive move up that only took like 1 day. All right. And then you had, this taking a whole week now to decline. And where are you coming down to? To your perfect retracement, 0.618 fib. 61.8% of this impulsive move up. All right. And, you're going to have your uptrend there. So I'm hoping you come down at least to 226.64 or just magically moving up. But you are holding that 21 EMA right here. We got a lot of confluence down here, guys. I would say downside is probably limited over here on IWM. I already pointed out, this thing is already, in a similar spot to where it's been bouncing back from. Just had the impulsive move. Things don't go straight up, but there's not really any denying this. This thing wants a new all-time high. Okay, 244.46 is probably coming over the coming we're gonna say 2 to 4 weeks. I'm looking at this as a buying opportunity. Okay, DIA, you're still finding buyers right where you broke out from, guys. You have the 433.20 to 431.42 breakout zone right there. And just like SPY, if you can't hold that, which you have the 21 where it's sitting right here, okay, you're underneath the 9, but you're going to have this support right here. If you lose 431.42, it's very likely that you have a quick move down here. That's a percent move if you trade YM over there, if you trade the Dow. But 427, we're going to be watching for buyers step in if they don't hold 431 or 31.42 specifically. Okay, now let's quickly go over all of the components we normally cover here. Okay, what happened, guys? You gapped up and you got rejection at the 0.786 fib. I was looking at this and I'm sad you came down, but honestly, I'm going to say I don't know what happens from here, but I will definitely say this reminds me of this day right here. I like how you closed out with the doji, not just at the bottom like how you were looking earlier. But I was definitely disappointed to see this look. It was looking so beautiful and so sexy, and I just wanted to see it go a little further. I was like, these cons are going to $1,900 like they were the other day if we can get over there. Okay, I was hoping take the full position size down here. Your boy wanted to be safe about it. We took one con. But that thing was up at $1,300 today, and then I saw it come down to 700. I was sad about it, and I was like, Tesla, you really stalled out right where I thought you might stall out. But I was thinking it was just looking so beautiful. We're probably going to hit it with another gap up tomorrow. Now I'm not sure, right? Because like I said, it does remind me of this day right here where you came back down to the daily 9 here, okay, with your big move. And then what happened? Rejected the 0.786 fib on the next day, next trading session. Well, that's pretty dang similar to what we have going on right here. Did have a pretty big move up, all right, almost 10% move. I was thinking this thing just wanted to rip and take out this 358.64 high. You didn't do that. All right. And then I was going to be looking for 384.29. So we're going to see how this one goes. I don't think it's going to pull back here, but if it does pull back, what are you going to be paying attention to? Right over here. All right. Just know this guy is now going to have a department of the government. He's now going to be overseeing. He's going to be running it pretty much. Okay, guys. Things are going to go in his favor. This thing's going all-time highs, whether you like it or not. Maybe it takes some time, but I'm willing to bet, yeah, over the next 1 to 2 months, this thing's going to be at a new all-time high. People see what I see, okay? That's why it gapped up freaking 8% today. It's nuts. All right, buying opportunity on dips. Amazon over here, guys, you're still just defending right where we're paying attention to. Right over here, you have the daily 21 EMA, but more importantly, this was the previous sell wall here at 200 schmeckles. Okay, you're still defending that. I'm thinking you are going to be, catching a bid from down here and running it back up. Okay, but, that could take time. And all in all, this thing is going to go with QQ. So, if QQ is not going anywhere, NASDAQ's not going anywhere, building Nvidia earnings, then this, I can't say that I think this is going to go anywhere, right? Just give it some time. But all in all, this is the exact same setup we had down there. So, keep it on your radar. I really like Amazon on this dip. Moving on over here to Meta. All right, guys, if you see this 542.81 level get test down here, it's probably going to provide a short-term bottom. All right, you could just put on, what are we doing? What are we doing, buddy? What are we doing? What are we doing again? We're going to do that. All right, guys, so come down over here. This daily RSI is probably going to be over here. Regardless, I started taking early punches at this guy. I think this guy is, probably going to be bottoming in between right here and this zone over here. And I think, people are going to have a good time with the December and January expiration. Just know January is going to be really expensive because Meta is already really expensive. All right. You get the 600C right now, December 20 goes for about $500. All right. Maybe a little under right now for where we closed. Riding high up at 600 at a high of day here, guys. You move back up, you're looking at, more than a double there. I think we're probably going to get buyers stepping in right around here. It looks like we got a lot of confluence right here. By that, I just mean you got the weekly 21 right here. Find support here, support. Probably going to find support again right here. Notice how the weekly 9, that is not what was providing support. All right, but just declutter the chart here, take away that. You pull back into where you broke out from that big 542.81 level, back buyers there. Okay. GOOG. And this is why I think downside is limited, guys. If we do decide to sell here, I think downside is limited. GOOG. So we pointed this one out. All right. You had the hidden bullish divergence going on there. All right. You have higher high over here. You have a lower high over here. We'll take that off. It has done its job there. You see my arrow? That's where I think it's going, okay? I wish Amazon would have acted this way, but, you know, it's not. Nonetheless, guys, buying opportunity if you come back here, as long as you hold 169.49. I really like this guy, and I think you are going to be pushing up here 178.42 next, and then we're going to have 179.50 to, you know, 181.50. That's going to be your next golden pocket. Actual resistance sitting in here is going to be 180.99. Okay, but I'm looking for upside on GOOG. Hold 175.91 for a move up to 178.42. Apple, this is one that rejected its downtrend right here. And, you know, do you guys see something? Because I see something, a little sexy guy over here, okay? I know it's not picture perfect, but, you know, it is the structure that usually, you know, that just because the inverse head and shoulders does not mean the pattern really gives it all the weight, guys. It is really just the structure that is taking place in these inverse head and shoulders patterns. We see the same exact thing over here, and they're never going to be the prettiest, guys. I mean, they could be the prettiest. They're just normally not the prettiest, okay? You know, but all in all, it is structure just building on the chart. Okay, it is just literally bullish structure. You're stair stepping your way up. The right shoulder should create that higher low. All right, you got a little guy over here. I understand you dipped a little lower, but the structure, notice how this is a higher low compared to over here. And then you shot up to a new high. All right. You didn't go far, but the structure is what matters. That's the only reason we see the inverse head and shoulders so often is because it's a reversal pattern. All right. You make a low, a lower high. Okay. You have a lower high. That's what creates the start of normally inverse head, or it'll be an equal high. It's one or the other. Regardless, it's bearish. You go down to a new low. And then here's where the tide starts to change. You come down and you put in the higher low. All right. So don't even worry about that pattern right there. You don't got to concern yourself with it. Learn how to read the market structure. That's going to save you a lot of time and, you know, a lot of frustration because, you know, you could follow along with patterns. But let's look at it this way. This consolidation pattern, the only reason it's significant is it's getting tighter and tighter and tighter. When price action condenses like that, you get ready for an impulsive move. Well, this impulsive move took out this low. Now, structure has switched to bearish, okay? But this is the start of a reversal pattern forming, all right? Bullish structures coming back into play. We're going to have to see this thing really get over 233 for me to get bullish on it. But if it does happen, I think we're going to take out the sign. I think we're going up. We're going to see that 240 level, all right? That's Apple over here, guys. 230, 233. Look for sellers to step in. Microsoft, not looking too bad. It's an indecision candlestick you got right down here. Second day in a row. Not second day on the indecision candlestick, but second day in a row, you're finding buyers off of the 0.618 fib. I'm liking that. And, you know, I'm thinking we're probably going to be moving back up to 426.10 with how this is looking. But, you know, I'm just going to say this is one of those uncertain charts right now. I like how GOOG is looking out of all of these. GOOG, Meta, I like on the dip. And now, guys, let's talk about some chip action. Chips are looking sexy, okay? You know, first things first, hit it with the, you know, first green bar after, you know, quite a few red bars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red trading sessions. And then you had a green trading sessions, guys. It's the tide is starting to turn. And so you're going down, hit it right here. Okay. Close inside the previous bar. I'm liking how this thing is looking. All right. But, you know, more importantly, if we just come back over here to Nvidia, this is what I'm really liking, all right? So you did close out with the doji candlestick. I think you probably do consolidate here, but it doesn't look like you're just going to fall off a cliff to me, all right? So we'll see what happens here. We got earnings on Wednesday, but now you come over to the chart that I really like, AFRM, guys, all right? And I already pointed this out earlier. 1.5 years, 1.3 years to be exact. But, you know, come down to 160.41. Expect buyers to defend around there. Daily RSI is going to be in that same spot. All right. The whole trade idea here is, and I'm just going to tell you what I like. December 6th, 170C. I think they're going for $4 to end the day out there. They were at a low of around 3. Started there. I do think we probably get another, you know, maybe another day of consolidation here. You're not going to just see this thing skyrocket. It could. All right. But I'm not thinking that's how it's going to play. I think you get some consolidation. At the end of the day, guys, if you do see that 5-10% move, guys, take your freaking profits, okay? I called it out well in advance over here, and now we're seeing it, and yeah, all right? Take your profits if you see it. There you go. But this is one of the charts that makes me think we're probably not getting much more downside from here. All right. I think chips are about to make a comeback. DSM is another one of those charts. All right. So, you have the larger golden pocket sitting somewhere over here around 175.45. So, if this isn't where buyers are going to really step in here, it's going to be down here 100%. But, as of right now, this is the most recent impulsive move up. You're retracing that. You're right here on the golden pocket again. Resistance 187.66, and then above there you really got nothing until 193.47. Then you got 198.17. But I'm liking how buyers are starting to step in early over here, right here in the next golden pocket. I am liking that. But if not, we're gonna have that 21. This is originally, I was looking for a test of 175.45, which I still think would be a supreme player down there. I really would like that thing. Just like Avgo there, I would like it down here. Okay. I don't want to touch this thing up here because, chances are you just come and find resistance right here and you consolidate, or you don't. I don't know, but that's what I'm expecting going into that spot because you have the short-term moving averages sitting there. AMD guys, right here. All right. Shout out to a Discord member on this one. I would not have known about this, but you got this SMCI 2.0. No idea. All right. Don't treat it like SMCI 2.0 because we all know AMD. I'm using it. I have AMD parts in this computer. All right. I have Ryzen chips in this computer. It's not an SMCI. Okay. But maybe you get some, short-term selling off of that. And we see this thing just dancing oversold territory down there. Regardless, you're holding 133.74 resistance. You are finding sellers off that resistance at 139.72. It's where you most recently broke down from, just like you broke down from over here, came back up. Well, you had that one and that one. All right, this is the larger structure you broke down from. This is that short-term structure you broke down from. Came back, you found sellers off of the short-term structure, 150.52, and then you sold down to new low. And now you have this guy, okay? Get above there, we're watching 143.64. ARM guys, you are, again, finding buyers a little early over here, okay? I was really hoping you get down here, and I still am, okay? But, again, that Avgo chart, I'm thinking either Avgo's going to be a lone warrior over here, or, everything else is going to, start going with it and going to the upside. MU guys, we are finding buyers for the second day in a row off that 96.18 gap fill as well as the 0.618 fib. If you cannot hold here, you're just watching 90.97. You don't really have much in between here. But if you do want to pay attention to something in between there, 92.58. Okay. And then, above there, you can have 93.93. Bitcoin guys. Honestly, I'm not looking for much over here. I think, maybe it pops up to new high and maybe it starts pushing 100K, but I know everyone's watching 100K, so I got a feeling it's not going to be how this goes. I think you're probably going to continue this consolidation for a little while here or give us a pullback. I would like the pullback. I think it would be good. I don't like how miners aren't going right now, but you got coin and MSTR going. That's a little frustrating, but it is what it is over there. I imagine if this pulls back, everything's going to pull back, but the miners are going to get hit the hardest considering Bitcoin just is moving up today. And guess what? This thing is not. Okay, this thing right over here is not. You did find buyers in the perfect spot, 0.618 fib. You printed a hammer candlestick. But I don't like how Bitcoin is doing what it's doing today. You have coin over here getting a big up day. You have MSTR getting a 13% up day. And then you have Mara. All right, Mara had an offering, so that's excusable. That's understandable, guys. I would stay away from Mara for now. No financial advice, but I wouldn't be touching it. All right, and then you have CLSK not participating in the rally. You have Riot not participating in that. All right, so honestly, guys, I'm seeing more clear, like super clear at this point. Miners are not the safe play on this Bitcoin move. I'm just going to tell you right now, CLSK kind of has been pissing me off the whole time. But you could just easily play coin. It was, price action is clearly respecting what we've been talking about it. It's just, I figured miners would get the most upside. They're not. All right. It is coin and MSTR, and I think they'll probably continue being that way. All right. So keep coin and MSTR on the radar. I would be playing option on those if you don't want to be trolled. If you want to play Bitcoin on its action, these things are the ones that are going to really move with it. Mara, DLSK, Riot, Hut, Wolf. I don't think these are going to be really the best participants in this rally. So, I'm just sharing my thoughts. Don't get mad at me on that. I know I've talked a lot about CLSK on this channel. I like the stock. But, it hasn't been moving how I remember it moving over here. It's kind of been a bit of a troll in comparison to Bitcoin. Like I'm very nice with calling Bitcoin price action. So I would assume this guy, we'd be nice with this guy. No, this guy wants to be a troll and it doesn't want to move with Bitcoin on every day. Whereas coin moves almost every single time with Bitcoin. MSTR moves almost every single time with Bitcoin. All right, so those are my thoughts there, guys. Now I'm just going to talk about some things that we put on your radar. Before, I did not mention this in the weekly update, but we called it out over here. I did forget to mention over there. But I'm going to say, guys, I think, firm is probably on its way up to 83.57 up there. I think this is a big breakout that has happened here. Big cup and handle. Same structure I was talking about, all right? You're in the downtrend. That's what puts in this left shoulder, okay? And now you have the head. This is your start of your reversal. And then you really have, on the weekly chart, this is the structure change, okay? So, you come back in. This is where, buyers, hey, they're trying to, turn the switch there. They're trying to make the tide change. And then right here, that's when you really have the structural change. And then you broke out to new high. You have confirmation that, yeah, you do have that bullish structure. And, any dip is a buying opportunity from that point. That's how I see these kinds of charts. Okay, very similar one is ARK. All right, ARKK over here. I'm sure a bunch of the other ARK tickers will probably look similar. But over here, guys, you are finding buyers right where we were looking for a buyer to step in. All right. I'm not saying we're gonna push up straight up to this high over here, but we clear as day do see buyers stepping in after you reverted back to the mean, the daily 9 over here, and retested that 53.86 big spot here on the weekly time frame. Okay. And you had a weekly close above it right over here. You didn't get it here. Let's see if we get it on this week. And from that point, I will say you're probably going to push straight up to 58.38 and then start targeting 63.25. Either way, dip is a buying opportunity over here. AAL, I just said 3 A's. AAL, monthly chart I put on your radar when we were somewhere, somewhere over here. I don't know where it was, all right? I feel like that was 2 weeks ago. So not last month, but, beginning this month. Guess what? Okay. I pointed out right here, and I was like, because of that monthly structure, I don't think this thing is going to be selling from here. Guess what? You did pop up to new high the next day. You retested this trend line, guys. This is bullish. All right. This thing is the tide is I know it's been in this uptrend, but you're seeing buyers step in where you want to see them step in. That's all I'm pointing out here. I think this move might just be getting started over here. And again, it's on the monthly time frame. So, unless you have a longer term outlook, like we're talking, months here, guys. Okay. We're talking, this could take 3 to 6 months to actually see, the full scale move of this thing. But I think it's starting. So long-term investors and for you, swing traders who have a larger, a longer time horizon there, this might be for you. Okay. Now, Disney guys, you are, pushing right back up here. Sold off, push right back up to the 0.786 fib. You found sellers again today. Okay. Found sellers there on Thursday, on Friday, and now on Monday. We know it's a strong spot. I'm not saying it's going to break you right now. Honestly, I think you're probably going to pull back and consolidate in between there and this 110 level. If not, down here at 108.40. Okay, so expect consolidation, but I think this dip is going to ultimately be bought up. Very similar to what we have right over here on this earnings gap up, where you came back down to the bottom of that, initial gap up day. That would be right here at 108.40. So dip is probably going to be acting as a buying opportunity over there. All right, just a little reminder, ASTS over here, it's really not looking too bad. I'm looking for things to pop above here, get above 30.55, and I do think it'll probably start making a push for all-time highs. I really like this weekly chart, guys. I really do. All right. So that is all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you did, please remember to leave a like on the video. It will put a smile on my face, and it'll put a smile on the YouTube algorithm's face as well. I appreciate your time, guys. I really do. And with that being said, I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.